They called this morning. 2 years of silence, and their number flashes across my phone like a ghost that forgot it's dead. "Hey, sweetheart," my mother's voice, too cheerful, too casual, crackles through the line. "We're coming to visit, and we're bringing a surprise for you." For a moment, I say nothing. I just watch the steam rise from my coffee, curling like smoke over something that's already burned. Then I say it, calm and final. "Keep the surprise to yourselves. I moved states 2 years ago, and I never want to meet you again." Silence, and then the faintest gasp, like the sound of a knife realizing it's no longer sharp. They don't know the real surprise is mine. When I was little, they used to tell people I was difficult, too quiet, too sensitive. "She takes things too personally," my father would say at dinner parties, while I sat right there, pretending to laugh. They loved performing kindness when someone was watching. But once the door closed, it was back to silence and criticism. If I brought home an A, it wasn't good enough. If I smiled, it was fake. If I cried, I was weak. Love, to them, was a weapon disguised as concern. By 17, I learned how to disappear without leaving. I learned silence was safer than truth. The last real conversation we had was the day I graduated college. I was the first in our family to earn a degree, and they didn't even show up. They said the drive was too far. 2 weeks later, my father called, not to congratulate me, but to ask if he could borrow money. My mother followed up, scolding me for being selfish when I refused. That was the night I stopped being their daughter. But I didn't just vanish. I planned my exit like a crime scene. First, I moved my savings into a new account, one they couldn't trace. Then I cut off every contact they had, mutual friends, distant relatives, anyone who might spill where I was. Finally, I changed my number, my job, my address, everything but my name, because I wanted them to remember exactly who left them behind. For 2 years, I stayed quiet. I built a life from scratch, brick by brick, peaceful, stable, mine. Until that call this morning. Their voices dragged me back to the old house in my head, the one where I stood outside my locked bedroom door, listening to them argue about how ungrateful I was, where birthdays were guilt trips, not celebrations, where love was earned and never given. They said they were bringing a surprise. I already knew what it was. It would be an apology wrapped in manipulation. A "we miss you" that really meant "we need you." Maybe they'd show up with fake smiles and a story about how they've changed. They'd try to make me feel small again, make me forget how far I've come. But they don't know what I did. Last year, I sent the county a small packet of documents, quietly, anonymously. Old tax records, property inconsistencies, evidence of how my father had been hiding income for years to dodge payments. He'd taught me how to balance books when I was 15. He just didn't think I was paying attention. The audit hit 6 months later. I didn't gloat. I didn't even check in. I just waited. Because revenge isn't about noise. It's about precision. Then came my mother's turn. She always loved her reputation. Church volunteer, kind soul, the woman who helped struggling families. So when screenshots of her private messages started surfacing, messages mocking those same families, spreading lies for attention, her world cracked. I didn't leak them directly. I simply left them where the right eyes could see. She built her kingdom on pity. I just showed them the truth. Now they want to visit. Of course they do. When the walls start closing in, they remember the daughter they buried under their own shame. I imagine them in their old kitchen, whispering. Maybe they think I'll forgive them, take them in, fix their problems. Maybe they think they still have that power. They don't. I sip my coffee and scroll through my messages again, reading my own reply. Short, simple, final. Keep the surprise to yourselves. That's the part that will haunt them. The calm, the control. Because they raised me to fear them, and now they can't even reach me. I didn't shout, didn't curse, didn't break down. I just ended the story they thought would never end. They'll arrive at the old address tomorrow, 1,000 miles away from where I live now. They'll knock, and no one will answer. They'll look around, confused, realizing the house was sold years ago. Maybe they'll stand there, holding whatever gift or lie they brought, wondering how they lost me. And maybe, for the first time, they'll understand. I was never theirs to break. I didn't move to escape them. I moved to become someone they'd never recognize, someone who doesn't need their approval or apology. They wanted to surprise me, but the real surprise is this. I stopped waiting for their love. I started living without it, and nothing terrifies